YouTube. So recently on YouTube, there has been a trend of kind of ranking things in different parts of your life, of like TV shows, movies, things that have happened in your life, that kind of thing. And today I'm going to be doing my own ranking of the Doctor Who 2005 reboot. Hello, editing Tori here. So when I started editing this video, I have over an hour of footage talking about Doctor Who, and when I started to go through the different sections that I talk about in this, I realized I have so much footage that I figured I would just separate them all into separate videos. So you're gonna get a couple of videos of me ranking things in the Doctor Who reboot, so enjoy this one. Didn't think this would be a little like 4-part video series, but I hope you guys enjoy. So this is part 2, which is ranking the companions. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tori Cyclic. I make new videos every Sunday for Cyclic Sunday with other videos throughout the week. If you like what you see, like this video down below and subscribe while you're down there as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok in the description at tss6295. Now, let's get into the video. Since I'm going to be talking about everything from the 2005 Doctor Who reboot, I'm going to be putting a spoiler alert on this video. If you do want to watch Doctor Who and you don't want anything spoiled for you, come back and watch this video after you've done that. So yeah, spoiler alert. So for the companions, I'm focusing only on the main companions, nobody from Christmas specials, nobody extra. So with like Rose's era, I'm not talking about her mom or Mickey. With Martha, just talking about Martha, not the rest of her family, that kind of thing. So my top pick for companions is Donna Noble. I really love Catherine Tate as an actor, and I think her as a companion with David Tennant is like some of the best Doctor Who TV ever. I really love that Catherine Tate is a very well-known comedic actor in the world of TV, film, UK theater, and they gave her so much dramatic stuff to do on Doctor Who, and it didn't feel like kitschy or weird at all. It felt like it worked for her, and I really love that because you get to see a different side of her as a performer, and then it really brings this new dimension to her character of Donna as well, because when you first meet Donna, she's basically a comedic foil to David Tennant with some dramatic stuff that happens in her first episode. But then once you get into her really as a companion, you get to see her character grow a ton because of all these dramatic moments that she has, and I think it works really well. And the comedic stuff with Donna Noble is just some of the best comedic stuff on Doctor Who, in my opinion, because Catherine Tate is such a well-accomplished comedic actress. I really love David Tennant and Catherine Tate together because their energy on screen is electric and really amazing to watch, and their relationship as 10 and Donna set up future friendship relationships with the Doctor, like Clara and 12 and Bill and 12. Next for me is Clara Oswald. I really love that the character of Clara Oswald keeps showing up for the Doctor, especially for 11's Doctor, as a Dalek, as a Victorian babysitter, as a new person in his life. I just think that's a really interesting way to bring that character into so many different eras of the Doctor, and I think Jenna Louise Coleman did so well with this character because she had so many different types of things to do with Clara Oswald. Clara kind of reminds me of a combination of Rose Tyler and Donna Noble because she is friends with the Doctor and really his like best friend, but then there's also with Matt Smith's Doctor a little bit of the like romance kind of pining after him, but nothing ever really comes of it. But also her attitude too. She's like sassy and spunky, but she also has like a take charge attitude as well. I think my favorite thing about Jenna Coleman as Clara is how fast she can talk. I think it's a known fact as well that she got cast as Clara because she could talk faster than Matt Smith. I think this works really well, especially in the Christmas special that she's in, because there's so many scenes where it's her and Matt Smith bantering one-on-one against each other and talking so fast that you really have to pay attention to it, but it shows their relationship off right away, that they can like talk so fast with each other and understand each other and work well together. I also think styling wise, Clara has the best clothing out of any of the companions because she is, I think, the longest running companion, and they always made her style look fresh every episode. I think Clara had some amazing character growth on the show, especially because she was helping Matt Smith's Doctor deal with the loss of Amy and Rory, but then she also got to grow into becoming this brand new person for him, and then being a source of companionship when he changed into Peter Capaldi and they became kind of like a father-daughter, mentor-mentee kind of relationship. I feel like that growth and that change is a really important thing for Clara as a character as well as the Doctor. Next is Rose Tyler. So Rose Tyler is the first companion of the reboot, and I really liked Rose Tyler as a character. She's very defiant of what people want to define her as, and she also is trying to define her own path too, and she really finds a way to do that with the Doctor, and you see that growth and change, especially with the 9th Doctor, but even more with the 10th Doctor. I really love all the characterizations that Billie Piper chose to do with Rose Tyler, especially with her attitude towards how people act towards her, and the fact that she really knows how to stand on her own. I also really love Rose and Ten's relationship. I think that that romantic relationship is a very effective one for the Doctor, and later on afterwards it it wasn't as effective for me having a romantic relationship between a doctor and a companion. Next is Amy Pond. Amy Pond meets the doctor when she's a child and then waits 12 years for the doctor to come back and be with her. And when she does get to be with the doctor, it's an amazing experience for her because it helps her grow out of the kind of stagnant life that she's found for herself, waiting for the doctor to come back, as well as defining who she is outside of her relationship with Rory and defining who she is kind of as a woman as well. She does have like the sassy, spunky side to it as also, but she is a very independent character. I think Amy Pond had some of the best storylines throughout the entire show. Seasons 5 and 6 are some incredible seasons, some incredible episodes from the writing that Stephen Moffat did, as well as everybody else involved in it. But I think Karen Gillan really brought something new to the stories when she was on the show, and it really worked effectively for her character because it allowed her to have a lot of character growth throughout the entire time she was on the show. And yeah, I just think she was really great for the role. Next is Rory Williams. So Rory and Amy kind of go hand in hand. They are with the 11th Doctor in season 5, 6, and the beginning of season 7. I really love Rory's growth as a character because you see him kind of grow on his own as well, kind of similarly to Amy, but his growth happens a little bit later on than hers does, also because of his circumstances. They're definitely different because he waits 2,000 years for Amy because he loves her so much. There's a lot more of that kind of love for Amy that you get to see through Rory, and it shows a really effective and strong relationship between the companions, and it's a really good way to show a strong relationship between two people romantically. I really love the Rory the Roman storyline in season 5. I think it was a really great way to show off Arthur Darvill's acting in this season because you get to see a lot of his dramatic stuff as well as his like kind of bumbling comedic stuff too. I think he was a very well cast actor for the role. I did want him to have a little bit more of a hero storyline. He kind of has it with the Rory the Roman, but there's a lot happening in those episodes that he doesn't get as much of it. I also wanted to see him do more alone with the Doctor because Amy gets a lot of her own alone time with the Doctor. I want to see more of Rory and the Doctor together because they're very well matched together. I think Rory and the Doctor is a very good relationship, and I wish we got to see more of that. Next is Martha Jones. So Martha is a character that I'm sort of a fan of. It depends on the episode because with Martha, Freema Agyeman, I think that's how you say her last name, she has great episodes, but the way that her character was kind of written was to be like, oh, she's pining after the Doctor and the Doctor is still thinking about Rose and isn't giving her attention. So it felt like she was very whiny the entire time because of that and like couldn't figure out how to do things on her own. But when it got to a point where she had to figure out how to fend for herself with the Doctor, that was when you got good acting and good episodes with Martha. So I'm very mixed about how I feel about Martha just because, yeah, she just felt very whiny in her time. But when she learns how to be her own person outside of the Doctor and then like work with him, I think it's really, really effective. So yeah, Martha's kind of like a in the middle kind of character for me. Next is Bill Potts. So in my opinion, Bill Potts is basically a Martha 2.0, but she's not as whiny as Martha is, and I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of how it feels. Also, Bill gets a very short season, and I think some of her best acting was at the end of her season, and I wish they gave her more because I wanted to see more of what she could do, and it was just very frustrating to not get more of that from Pearl Mackie because like the beginning of her stuff is fine but not amazing, and then you get this amazing acting from her at the end of season 10, and then it's like, okay, well now she's gone, and it just feels like kind of like a waste of her talent. I was hoping they would bring her back for the next regeneration, and then they didn't, and I was like, that's a waste. Next is Nardole. I think Matt Lucas as Nardole kind of got the same wrong edge of the sword like Bill Potts' Pearl Mackie did, because they were just kind of like random characters that were thrown in with the Doctor and didn't really feel like they had like a real meaning as characters. Especially with Nardole, he was just kind of like a bridge between the Clara eras and the Bill eras, and it just didn't really feel like there was much to him as a character, and I wanted more out of him. It just didn't feel like there was much to him as a character. And even in the last 2 episodes of season 10, which I think are the best episodes of that season, you get a lot out of Bill, but you don't get much out of Nardole. You get a little bit, but not as much as there could be. And I think it was a wasted opportunity for both of them. Yeah. Just not great for me. Next is Yasmin Khan. Honestly, I didn't really think there was much very interesting about Yasmin Khan at all in season 11, and not that much in season 12 either. She's part of the 3 companions with the 13th Doctor, and yeah, I just didn't really like see her purpose much at all. She does have some character growth in season 12, but compared to the character growth of other companions, it's not much. And yeah, I was just not really a big fan of her. Next is Graham O'Brien. Same kind of thing as Yasmin. You don't really get much out of him. It just kind of feels like he's there with no purpose. Like there's no real reason for him to be there except just to be another person on the show. And I also don't really like that he calls the doctor Doc. For some reason that really bothered me. I don't know why. I was just like, oh my God, just call her the doctor. Stop calling her dog. I don't like it. And then last is Ryan Sinclair. So yeah, like the last two, kind of really nothing to him as a character. At a certain point in season 12, pretty early on in season 12, he got very boring and seemed like he didn't want to be there anymore. So that made me not want to root for him as a character, which is frustrating. And that's a lot of things that people have discussed about seasons 11 and 12, that the writing is not great. I think the writing is okay, but not for the companions. The companions don't get enough due and don't get enough to do as characters. And yeah, it's just, I don't think it's good that they had 3 companions because you didn't get to meet any of them truly, like, at all. And I just think, yeah, it just wasn't great for me. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you watch Doctor Who, let me know about your thoughts about it in the comments down below. I'd love to get to know what you guys think about Doctor Who if you do watch it. And if there's anything else you'd like to see here on my channel, let me know about that in the comments down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.